1 minute.
Okay, so as you told me, like, you guys are working with Citrix or having some idea of Citrix, right? So,
Mm.
do you know what is Citrix and how it works? Any idea, any definition, whatever you have, you can tell me.
Citrix is a like
Mm-hmm.
to work on the virtualization,
Mm-hmm.
to provide the virtualization.
Right. And what is virtualization? If I talk about the virtualization, what did it
Virtualization
mean?
means okay. Virtualization means uh, everything is configured one place, and will correctly remotely in some other places throughout
No,
the
no,
India.
no. What is virtualization? My question is that why we are configuring each and everything on a single hardware?
Mm, sorry, each and everyone is in single hardware, no?
Yes.
But unit take virtualization, no? But each machine wise we need to go and we need to maintain everything, no?
Yes. So that's my question now. Why we are using the virtualization? What is the reason?
Virtualization means to protect apps from their end only, no? From client end only. If anything do wrong, then automatically they will find out, no?
No, I have one more option now. Like if I have to publish, like for an example, if I have to publish 10 applications, right? So what I
Mm.
can do, I can procure 10 laptops or I can procure 10 desktop and I can like implement some security and I can directly publish my physical machines to end users, right? So what is the need of virtualization? Because it will work
To
in a
reduce the
same
cost,
way.
to reduce the cost,
Right, right. So that is the main point. And what is the second one?
second one means like virtualization is a main no right now because of if they will not give any virtualization, then you need to go office and to work from there only, no, from their machines only. If they
No,
will
no,
create,
no, 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 no. You are just telling me the benefits of virtualization. I'm asking what is virtualization. I'm not asking the benefits of the virtualization, like user can access
to
here.
work the remote access.
So, so that is the benefit, na?
Hmm.
Okay, let me explain this. So basically, first point you already got it. That is the cost, right?
Hmm.
And second
Hmm.
point is the hardware utilization. We have to, with the help of virtualization, we can utilize any hardware up to its 100% of efficiency, right? Means in ideal world, there is nothing like 100%, but somehow we will be able to utilize any hardware up to its 90 or 95% of like efficiency. For an example,
Hmm.
like I am having one laptop with me. This is my personal laptop, right? And in this laptop, if you can see the hardware configuration here now, you will find
Hmm.
my laptop is equipped with 16 GB of RAM, right?
Hmm.
And the i7 processor with 4 or 8 logical processor, right? But what
Hmm.
I did, I simply installed Windows 11 in this machine, right? And what's
Hmm.
Windows 11 doing? It's only utilizing 50% of memory. Rest 50%
Hmm.
memory is waste for me, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So with the help of virtualization, what I can do, I can install the hypervisor on this machine and I can utilize the rest 8 GB of RAM by deploying another virtual machine on the single hardware. So that is a major point, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Utilization of memory.
memory, not only memory, other components as well. Like as you can see, my CPU
Yes, yes.
utilization is
CPU.
19% only, right? So
Hmm.
I'm wasting 80 or 90% of my CPU utilization by using a single machine, right? So
Hmm.
this is how. First point is utilization. Second point is the upfront cost, right? So cost will be
Hmm.
reduces and utilization will be higher as per the requirement. Okay.
Hmm.
So that is how. Okay. Now coming to the hypervisors. Any idea what is hypervisor?
Hypervisor means to configure machines through hypervisor only, no? To, for example, you are showing the data. In
Mm,
which data you are utilizing hypervisor in VMware, hypervisor is there. In
mm,
Citrix, Gen server is there.
mhm.
For utilization of memory, CPU
Mhm.
and everything. That is hosting in the hypervisor only.
My question is, what is hypervisor?
Hmm.
So basically, hypervisor is a software or it could be an operating system. It is used to run multiple virtual machines on a single physical machine. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So hypervisor, it is used to run multiple virtual machine on a single physical machine or on a single hardware, right? So
Okay.
in the market, two types of hypervisors are there. Any idea on that? That is a basic question. Anyone can ask you what is hypervisor and what are the type of hypervisors.
Mm, Gen server is one of the hypervisor is there.
I'm not asking for the company like Gen server or VMware or Hyper-V, right? I'm asking for the types of
Mm.
hypervisors. You might have been heard type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor.
Okay.
So a type 1 hypervisors known as bare metal hypervisors. Bare metal hypervisors, right? And the examples of bare metal hypervisor is Gen server, then your like vSphere client or ESXi host, like that is from the VMware, right? EXSI, and another one is Hyper-V. Now, coming to the type 2 hypervisors. Type 2 hypervisors will be your VMware Workstation Pro, then your Oracle VirtualBox, or there are so many into the market. Okay, so
Mm.
so what is the difference here? Are you able to identify any difference here? How to make it zoom? Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible.
Okay, so listen. Type 2 hypervisors are the applications. You will be able to identify VMware Workstation Pro, it is the application, right?
Yes, yes.
And Oracle VirtualBox, it is also the application, right?
Mm.
And these are the operating systems, OS.
Mm.
So for type 1 hypervisor, what we will do, we will directly install type 1 hypervisor on the physical machine as an operating system, right?
Mm.
And to install the type 2 hypervisors, what will be required when operating system is required means if I have to install VMware Workstation Pro, in that case, what is the requirement? Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, right? Some operating system should be there, right? And on
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
operating system, I can install. So these are the applications. So
Yes.
like type 1 hypervisors are the hypervisors where you have to install hypervisor directly on the physical server as an operating system, right? Or when
Mm.
you are installing any hypervisor as an application, it comes under type 2 hypervisor, right?
Yes, yes.
So please do remember this thing. This is a very, very important question. After this session, I will share recording with you. Please follow the recording. So as you told me, like you are having an interview, right? Tomorrow only. So these are the kind of
Okay.
silly questions they may ask, right?
Yes, yes, they are asking. We have right now. They are asking. Previously, I attended an interview.
Mm-hmm.
They are asking I have I have four storefront server. I need to add another existing storefront server. How
Mm-hmm.
can we will add that one? They are asking this type of questions.
Okay, so the answer is that you are already
You need
having
to.
four storefront server, right? And
Uh,
you have to propagate
Add
the fifth.
another one, no,
Yeah. So
storefront server.
yes. So fifth, you have to propagate.
Yes, yes.
So the answer is that you have to log into your storefront server, right? And you have to go to the server group,
Mm,
like storefront server group,
mm.
and in that server group, you have to add the fifth storefront server. So that is the answer.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And
And
one more thing, they're asking ports for PCA, previous.
provisioning
Mm,
like services, right?
mm. In the previous, which type of file is generated? ARDB32.bin file is generated, no?
So basically, ARDV32.win, that is the file which contains all the information related to the PBS server. Okay.
Mm,
And for like VDIX creation, when we will be creating the VDIX now, or we are
mm,
versioning the VDIX, so three file has been created. First extension is like .vhdx.
mm.
Second extension it is like
LOX, okay,
pvp
LOK file.
pvp, and third one is .lok file.
Mm,
Okay, so these are the three extensions.
yes, yes, three extension files, no?
Mhm. So
VD.
VHDS is the basically it is a extension for the virtual drive. PVP contains all the properties of this virtual drive, whatever the properties we have configured for that VDIX, all those
Mm,
properties are into that log file,
mm,
and the third file, which is known as log file, it is for protection. It is for the protection for accidentally deletion of this VHDS. Means if you directly click on VDIX, or if you want to try to delete now, it will never delete. Why? Because this log file is there.
mm.
Okay.
Okay, and one more thing, they are asking the ports also in
Which mhm.
ports in previous.
Ports.
Mm,
So
port numbers.
basically, it,
54321 is there now. 54321 to 54323.
wait, look, in PBS, the console port,
54321.
yeah, it's 54321. So that is for the you read it somewhere like which port is that?
Sorry.
That port number 54321. It is just for the communication to your PBS server from your PBS console, right? And
Yes.
in PBS, one more port is there, which is for the SQL, for the
Yes, yes.
database.
Yes, yes. Whenever your installation of PVS, we need to pre-requisition is there. Storefront
Yes,
and database.
yes. So database port number is 1433,
1433.
right?
That is okay. And
And
storefront server is 2700. Storefront server is
look,
uh,
SF port number will be, if it's running on
389.
HTTP, it will be 80, and if it's
Yes, yes.
running on HTTPS,
443.
it will be 443,
443.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
coming to your license server, license server
2700. 27300.
is 27,000. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So these are the some important port numbers. We are having a huge list of port numbers. I will share that document with you. In that document,
259. And unwound licensing issue port is there, no? 779.
yes, multiple
Demand
ports.
port.
Yes, daemon port. And one more very important port in like provisioning console, like for broadcasting port, which is known as for the PXC service, which is booting up the VDIC. So that port number will be your 69.
Okay, 66, 67, no?
No, 66, 67 is for the DSCP. I'm talking about the PXC services. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Pixels, okay. Pixel services.
Yes, and one more, that file that is downloading, that is TFTP file like ARDB32 win. So one important port
FTP,
number, that is TFTP.
TP.
And
66 and 67 is there.
for this port number, like PBS is using 6910 port number from the PBS console. Okay, please
Okay.
do remember all those ports. I'm having one document I will share, or also you can get all those port numbers from Citrix website
Okay.
as well. Okay, so that is not our concern.
Yes.
If you want to prepare for the interview, I can schedule a separate session with you for that. No worries. So where I was?
Okay.
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 So this is a basic definition of Citrix. So what is Citrix? So if someone asks you, like as you are preparing for a Citrix interview, right? So someone may ask you, like, what is Citrix? The basic question, right? So you do not have to Google it in a depth, right? So you must have some basic overview, like what is Citrix and how it works. So
Mm.
basically, Citrix is a company located in US, Florida, and it is most popular for two products only for virtualization. Those products are known as JANAP and Gen Desktop. Earlier, the product were named as JANAP and Gen Desktop, but now they guys rename their product from JANAP to Virtual App and from Gen Desktop to Virtual Desktop after the release of the version 7.xx. Some version is there after that particular version release. They guys rename their product from JANApp to Gen Desktop and Gen Desktop, sorry, JANApp to Virtual Apps and Gen Desktop to the Virtual Desktop. Okay, so now their products are known as Citrix Virtual Apps and Virtual Desktop. But for the older guys like me who are working with Citrix since long time, we still use those wordings only, like JANApp server and Gen Desktop servers, right? But for the newcomers, those products are now Citrix Virtual Apps and Virtual Desktop. Means if someone is talking about the virtual apps, that is JANApp only. And if someone is talking about virtual desktop, it will be Gen Desktop only. Okay. Any doubt here?
No, no.
Okay.
It is IMA Independent Management Architect. That is FMA Flexible Management Architect Gen Desktop.
Yes. So FMA is a different thing. Okay. That is the architect of this Citrix. Okay. So basically, how Citrix works. So that is a very, very important question for your interview prospective. Like, someone may ask you what is the emulation process for the Citrix, right? How users are getting their sessions
Elimination
over
process
the,
and
yes,
yes, yes, application elimination process and application launch process.
yes, application launch process or desktop launch process, whatever it is, right?
Mm.
So basically, this is a Citrix infra. Okay. So that right hand part, this part, on your right hand part, this part is our data center. Okay, in which we have hosted all the core components, all the applications, all the operating system, each and everything is there only. Okay, in between we are having firewall like Netscaler or any other firewall. Okay, if you have Cisco firewall, you can
Okay.
deploy it, but it is always recommended by Citrix to use their gateway, which is known as Netscaler. Okay, and the left hand side part, it is your end user device, means the end user with laptop and desktop, and in that laptop one web browser should be there and one application we have to install, that is known as Citrix workspace. Okay.
Yes, Citrix receiver or workspace.
Yes. So now how it works. Okay. So as a IT engineer or data center engineers, we have to provide some storefront or some web page for end user. So that web page URL is our storefront URL, right? So we will give some www.xyz URL to our end users. So what end user will do? End user open that web address in web browser in his laptop. Okay. And when we hit that storefront URL, our storefront URL will show the web page and ask user to provide some credentials, right? Like username and password. Okay. So
Yes, yes, yes. Whenever you are entering the web URL, then automatically it's in the IIS, no?
yes,
Web
yes, yes.
page.
Storefront is hosted on IaaS only. Okay, so it will ask
Yes, yes.
user, it will ask user to enter the credential. So once user enter the credential, it will forward the query to the delivery controller. Okay, so what is delivery controller? Delivery
Okay.
controller is the mastermind of the data center. It is a core component, and it's delivery controller responsibility to handle each and every query. Okay, so user enter the credential, Then storefront forward that credential to delivery controller. Now delivery controller know like which server is actually responsible to validate the credentials. So here our Active Directory server will validate the credential. Why? Because it is designed for that purpose only, right? So whatever the username and password entered by the user, that query goes through a delivery controller. Then delivery controller forwarded that query to Active Directory server to validate the credentials, whether user entering the correct credentials or not, right? So if credentials are found correct, in that case, Active Directory server again forward the query to delivery controller like boss, credentials are correct. Now you can check with the database like whatever the applications or desktop is published to the end user, right? So again delivery controller forward the query to database like to the SQL server. Please let me know which application, which desktop is published to that end user. So it will pull out the database for that user account. Then it will forward that query to the hypervisor like user is requesting for this application and for this icon it should be visible to the end user. Please turn on the icons and please publish the desktop to the end users, right? So then hypervisor will initiate the applications or whatever the icons published to the user, and that uh, goes to the delivery controller. With the delivery controller it goes to the storefront server, and when user click on log on after entering the password, he will get some icons on some applications on his next screen. Okay, it is a kind of nanosecond task. Okay, that's what I am explaining to. User have to enter the credential and just click on the logon page. Once click on the logon button, then within a second user will get all the application whatever published to that particular user. All those will get listed there on the storefront, right? So then uh, one user get all the applications whatever the listed for that user. User will get some tiles like icons over there. User just have to double click on that icon, and when user double click on that icon, then storefront will uh, send one ICA file. ICA file automatically get downloaded into web browser, and that ICA file user must have to launch with the help of the Citrix Workspace app to create a secure connection. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Now coming to the top part, like Studio Director and License Server. So Studio, basically Studio, it is a GUI tool like graphic user interface tool, which is used to manage the entire operations of the data center. Means with the help of Studio, you can manage each and every component in your data center. You will get every icon over there. You will get storefront, delivery controller, multiple options you will get there. Director, basically Director, it is a tool which is used for the troubleshooting perspective or for VDI. Means if user session is getting stuck or user VDI is not unresponsive or users are unable to connect to their session. So in that case, we can use director for troubleshooting perspective. So that I will explain with practical. The license server, it is something which is relevant to license only. Okay. So license we have to procure from Citrix. Like for an example, if we are publishing 100 computers with Citrix technology. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to pay some good amount to Citrix to use their technology. Okay, so that is the licensing part. Now,
Yes,
mhm,
Mahesh, I have one doubt here.
mhm,
Uh, Director is there, no?
mhm,
My machine is still in register, not of unregistered. It is in registered state. My section is still is opening,
mhm.
but I am trying to opening the application, but it is not showing. On the time we need to go director only, no? We need
Yes,
to go direct, and you need to kill off sections.
yes, you have to go to the director. You have to check how many sessions are there. If you found like multiple sessions are there, so you can kill all of the sessions, and you can ask user to reconnect again.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Register unregister means it is available in the delivery control only, no?
Yes, yes. So sometimes what will happen, like due to some network issues or due to some firewall issues, like our virtual machines are unable to communicate with the delivery controller, right? So in that
Hmm.
case, those machines are in unregistered state, right? So like at 90% of time, you can simply reboot the machines and it will automatically get registered with the DDC, like delivery controller. If not, In that case, we are having some troubleshooting step, like you have to check the network, you have to check the firewall, you have to check the IP address, you have to ping that machine from delivery controller, it is getting ping or not. So those kind of basic troubleshooting we have to perform.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I
Okay.
understand. But okay, what is the main servers are
Mm-hmm.
services are running in the DC delivery controller and the VDA?
Wait.
This is the important question of interview. They are asking
So
first.
basically, if someone asks you if any of the machines is not getting registered, right?
Mm,
So the responsible service for that particular issue is Citrix desktop service. You will find that service in your VDA. Okay.
it's, VDA virtual desktop services.
Yes. No, no. Yeah. It's on VDA agent. Okay. You
Mm,
will, if you
mm,
open services.msc, na,
mm,
you will
mm,
get one service by name Citrix desktop service. If that service is in stop state, okay, so all of your machines will be in unregistered state only. Okay.
mm.
So that
That is
particular
VDA. That
VDA.
is VDA.
Yes.
Delivery controllers services.
So basically in delivery controller, like when it's comes to the Citrix now, like total number of 18 services are there in Citrix. Okay.
Okay.
So out of 18 services, okay, let me show you some documentation so that
Yes,
we
sir.
will.
Last time they are asking this question for me,
Mhm. No worries. Where is that
but I
document?
but attending myself only.
No worries. So
This
so
is Ram Prasad Tech.
here are the like 18 services snapshot. You can find it, right?
Mm,
So basically, when it comes to the delivery controller, na, you will find like a few services for delivery controller. First one is broker service.
mm,
Second one, it should be there like AD authentication service. What, where is that? Yeah, this is that is AD identity service. Means if this particular service goes down, na, in that case, user will never be able to log in. When means if they are entering the correct credentials, na, then like after entering correct credentials, they will be prompt like username and password is incorrect, although credentials are correct, right? So these are the snapshot of 18 services. So you have to remember important services. So important services is monitor service. Why? Because monitor service is monitoring the hardware utilization of the entire data center. And another service is a machine creation service. So machine creation
mm,
service is MCS, and it is responsible to create, like if you are unable to create any new machine catalog, so you have to check that service. It's this particular service, it should be in running state. If you found that service is stopped, in that case, what you have to do? You have to make it up. Okay. And that host service, if that host service will be down, your user will not be able to connect. And so basically,
high availability service.
yeah, high availability service means if you have two or more delivery controller, okay, in your infra,
Mm,
so that service it should be running. Okay, it should always be running. Okay, it's doesn't matter you are having one or two or three or more delivery controller, right? So like for interview perspective, it is quite hard to remember all the 18 services, but the important services like 4 to 5 services you should remember always. First one is broker service. This is for session brokerage. Second service is AD identity service. This service is very, very important for user authentication. Third service is high availability service. Fourth service is a machine creation and monitoring service. Okay.
okay.
Please try to remember at least 4 to 5 services, right? It should be on your mouth always. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. We need to
Okay.
attend interviews, so then we will find out which type of questions they will ask.
Yeah,
Then
I
into
will.
that we need to prepare that one
Yes.
for theoretically.
Okay. Now coming to the like, okay, coming to the
It is
plan.
section will
Mhm.
close after 2 minutes.
Yes, yes. I will share new invite because it it was scheduled for 45 minutes only. So after this call, na, Within a minute, I will share new invite to you guys. Okay, you can join that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me terminate this now only. Okay.
Yes, yes, that's why I was saying.
I'm
And
just
the
sharing
begin.
new
Yeah.
invite. Okay.
Okay, okay.